Photoniks. Photoniks. Photoniks.
Welcome to Photoniks. I'm Mr. Daps. And I'm Clocky. And we're here today to look at old photos of Disneyland. We've got some photos picked out, something fun, something different, or something not different, something old, really. Is there something old, something new, something borrowed and blue? There is something blue this time. Okay, so we're halfway there. We're halfway there. The day we have something new on here, well, I guess we have new to us, but not like it kind of defies the purpose of having new if we're about history. I don't know. Before we get into all of that, though, if you would be so kind, we would love if you took a moment to, 1, subscribe, 2, share this podcast wherever you happen to be watching or listening to it. We prefer watching because then you can actually see the pictures that we're looking at. And then 3, if you can give us ratings or comments, those help us get seen more and help other people get to see what we are geeking out about, and hopefully they get to enjoy this as well. So then we can all do this together, and it's a whole lot more fun. And we're going to get more people on, just like we had Jeff and Denise a few, I guess it's months ago now, huh? It seems like just yesterday. But we have a lot of fun things to look at. But what photos are we looking at today? I will warn you this. I did look at one thing, because one thing that we're going to look at today, I said, well, when did that happen? So we're going to look at, that's good. We're going to look at photos of stuff that you wouldn't see at Disneyland today, whether it is a guest, it isn't extinct attractions, but whether it is a guest interaction or a cast member doing something that you go, that not today, not today. Would you call this extinct experiences? I wouldn't go that far. I would go as close. I would go as close as definitely Disneyland of Yesteryear. All right. I'm very intrigued. Let's take a look. All right. Let's go to sharing the screen. Here we have our first photo. This is from July of 1959. It is on the outside of Disneyland, looking kind of in, but really into where we have guests on a tram coming from different areas of the parking lot. Now, on top of the fact that we don't have the parking lot anymore, looking at the conveyance of no lap bars, no doors, no nothing. This goes back to Disneyland Handcrafted, where you go, yeah, we have different rules now. One of the rules is that you guests need to be secured. I mean, I can remember. And it literally looks like they took a trailer and threw some seats on it and a roof so that you wouldn't be in the sun. But the roof's so small, they're pretty much all in the sun anyway. That's funny. Yeah, this one is amazing. You can see in the background, you can see the Main Street railroad station. You can almost kind of see the entrance in the back. And then we have one lady hopping on. And that's also, I would say this, looking at that lady right there, that's a pretty big step. It's and it's not a deep step that she's getting onto, it looks like, either. Because if you look at the lady in the middle, she doesn't look like a large lady, but her feet actually, both her and the man next to her, it looks like their feet are sticking out over the edge. Toes are poking out. That's amazing. It's a pretty wild photo. It's fun. I like that it says that the tram loading all sections except B and C also. That's very straightforward. Right. Well, and you can see a little bit of the ticket booths in the background, which is kind of fun also. Yeah. What a different era, right? Yeah, that step up. Well, and I love that on the far right, you can see the guy in the next this trailer, I don't know what to call it, car. Yeah. Like just sitting there with his arm over the edge, and no big deal. That is fun. So yeah, 1959 and July. They're not in suits. No. Yeah. Well, because it's July, so I guess it's July, but we'll see some more July here in a bit. But yeah, no suits. Long dresses. Still. Yeah. Still getting dressed up to go to the park.
So I would love to know the thought process behind this picture. Was this I just got to Disneyland and I'm taking a picture of the tram I'm about to get on? Or am I related to someone, one of those three people that are sitting, maybe even the fourth lady that's about to, like, what was
right? Go.
It's always interesting when you catch these moments.
Go get a picture, or hey, let's get a picture. Oh, this tram's here. We'll get a picture anyway.
Yeah. Huh. Very interesting. Cool.
All right. Let's move on to our next photo. And we have
I love this.
We have all guests getting their tickets, getting their ticket books, checking, I think, probably a camera, I assume, or something. Or looking at a toy that was just purchased. It's a little out of focus.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
Someone showing something else.
But what's
here
not out of focus
is something that you would not see now, and that is Pluto on the outside of the main gate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing that you would see is the person reaching for Pluto as he walks by.
That arm is great.
That's very funny. What I love about this, though, is it says something about the thought process of hospitality back in whenever this was taken. And did you say what year this was?
This is a slide. And so hang on 1 second. And I'm going to go back to that. This was taken in 1961.
Okay. So this says something about the thought process of hospitality back then, where they want the magical moments to begin before you're even in the park. So let's send out Pluto and greet people beyond just our, day-to-day cast members, rank and file. And I think that's kind of a fun thing. And I can think of even like 15, 20 years ago, maybe even less, when they used to send the Disneyland band and the characters out inside of Main Gate there, and they do their little fun moments in the morning. And you almost wonder if that's an evolution of, well, we used to send characters out there, and then we're like, well, what about that?
Yeah.
It would be fun to find that out.
Here's the compromise where the magic stays within the gates.
We can keep it contained, but it's also crazy just to think you see the gate there behind in the background.
Right.
We walk through that all of the time now. When is the last time you saw that? Like, it's crowded in this picture.
Right.
But quite often that area would now be definitely part of a line to get into the park.
Right.
If it's even remotely halfway busy.
Well, and then just also the ticket booth, how close that is to the main gate.
Right. It actually, looking at this, it reminds me of Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh,
because, you walk up and there's the ticket booth still there, and you go another 15, 20 feet and you're in the park. And, but it's hard to beat those ticket booths. Like, these are very cute.
Always great. Ticket booth.
You can almost read the price.
Yeah. The Big 10 ticket book, the Jumbo 15 ticket book, $5 for a guided tour, $3 for children.
Wow.
And then,
that's awesome.
And as standard,
and the outfits are great too.
Oh, yes, standard dresses, long pants, guy in a tie, guy in a
with
shirt.
a pocket protector. It looks like too,
possibly.
Or is that something in front of him? No, I think that's I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd like to think that's a pocket protector.
I got to keep your pockets protected.
Exactly.
All right. Let's move inside.
What a great picture.
The park. Yeah, this one's great. This is a slide I have, though, and it blows up nice. Here's something that you would see.
This is amazing. Wow.
So this is July 1960. We're back in July. We're with a coat. So the one thing with this, again, when we look at printed dates on stuff, we know that was printed in July. I don't know if this was July. Looking at full coat, woman over here with her sweater on. This one, another lady with the sweater on, and then and the tree's pretty sparse. Doesn't for the summertime. But I would say this: no Christmas decorations. So this is October, January, maybe of 59, maybe April.
I mean, 59? It could be early 60 too, couldn't it? Yeah,
or 60.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
But watching them standing on the grass. always great.
Well, and even the grass doesn't have that full, like if it was June or July, that's usually when grass down here is really like vibrant, I feel like, before August hits and it gets killed. That's really interesting. I also love how like serious she is about this picture.
Oh yeah.
Like her pose is clearly like, this is my shot and I'm going to take it seriously and not mess this up. How fun is that?
And then we get a beautiful shot of most of the castle, not the top of the castle, but most of the castle in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
interesting also seeing the castle before so much has been added and built in and around it. Because it does feel a little bit more substantial, and the force perspective, I think, works a little bit better.
Right.
Looking at it in this.
Right, because there's nothing down here.
Yeah. Because we're basically, there's a tree close to where that tree is still.
Yeah.
I think it's further towards Main Street, perhaps, or the hub, I think. But there's generally that one, and then over where this walkway on the left is, it looks to me like that's basically where the little wedding garden thing is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done interviews there, like with the Disneyland ambassadors recently. Huh. That's interesting to see this part of the area in front of the castle. I like it.
All right. The next thing we wouldn't see at Disneyland today. Oh, hang on. I got to scroll all the way back out.
You know, we did make the joke about live grass.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I guess there's a little bit of live grass still found in the park.
So I've got 3 photos here. What is something that we don't do anymore here? So I have this photo.
Well, that looks like you're exiting where we enter now.
Correct.
And the other thing that we don't do in this picture is, if you were to look down in the corner, we cannot walk to Toontown. Or
that's true. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little bit different now too. Wow, that's fun.
Yeah, so I've got 3 photos. I've got this one from 1975. I've got this photo from, looks like this.
Oh, that's pretty.
60s. Yeah, I like this photo a lot. Again, where we can see the guests walking in with the round garbage can. There's our first garbage can. And
I half expect to see like Annette Funicello walk out into this picture.
Right. And then
the old cover, like the basic, I guess you should say, approach to the control towers,
right? And then also,
and the old costumes too, the striped,
the boat, the gondolier outfits, and the old queue area that was covered. So now that you're exiting out this way, which now you're exiting out to a dead end and then walking back across. And then this is the 3rd photo again. This with everyone walking down. This is from the 1970s because of the blue look that they added to Small World for those handful of years. So I looked up. This is the one research I did. I looked up, when did we switch?
Oh, when the blue?
No, not switch to blue. When did we switch to entering the opposite way?
What year was that?
It was 1991 when Mattel took over and they added the gift shop.
That totally makes sense. I can remember it changing as a kid and it being a big deal to my dad, I think. Like somebody in our family was like, "Oh, they changed it." And I was kind of like, okay, what's going on?
I'm still getting on the same boat. 10. Still going in the same direction.
Yeah, exactly. But it is funny how it would be interesting to have heard the thought process of the original queue, which I'm sure is a walking in where you see it kind of a thing, versus when they switched it in 91.
Right.
Well, and then going around it.
And it is interesting looking at this one and looking at walking back and around. That is walking into a dead end. Or walking into the parade route.
The thing it does also, though, it's not as, since I guess it'd be lightning lane now, but reversing this would actually put more people consistently like a wall of people always in front of the attraction,
Right.
versus this, you would have little bits of opening. I guess you could. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear that thought process. I do see why you'd want to have more queue down at the end, which they get by reversing it and being able to add a gift shop at the exit, which Disney loves to do.
Got to get that gift shop in. Well, and with it being
Absolutely.
Mattel taking over as the sponsor, Bank of America, you weren't going to have kids get checking accounts, but Mattel, buy that toy.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Also, they're sending out an empty boat here.
Shame on them.
Well, or it's not that busy.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
$9.75.
That is very fun.
That one's, yeah. All three of these are fun. It's just good to get the different perspectives on it. And also this, you're right, not seeing no train station over here. No.
I mean, it almost puts you in a different place, like, because it really does build that berm around the outside, because it looks like you're in the middle of the woods or something in this picture.
Yeah.
And even in that last picture, I think it did too, back where it was looking toward, this
that
one.
photo, yeah.
Because you can kind of see through that a little bit now. And I do like that you can see the monorail, it looks like, over on the left.
Yeah, the monorail track over here. I don't know what this is.
Oh, yeah, over on the right too.
Oh, yeah. Monorail track, people mover maybe going by? I don't know if people mover came out that far.
Did it go back that far? I don't think it went back that far.
I don't know. Bring it back and I'll look.
I wonder if it's yeah, right. I wonder if it's the monorail going in the first loop.
Could be. Yeah, but that's definitely a track of some sort.
Yeah.
All right. Huh. Yeah, and then blue with the gold shining.
Yeah. In the late afternoon, it looks like. And it's funny too, looking at the outfit changes as we go through.
Oh yeah.
Just from the, it's all within 10, 15 years. And
let's see, do I have a year on this one?
10 years probably, huh?
Don't have a year on this one.
Okay.
But this is definitely 60s in the summer, maybe early 70s. Yeah, there's a guy in a tank top. Tank tops always make me think 70s, and this is this fashion's too much to be 80s. This would definitely be 70s.
Yeah. And it's the old boats too, before they put in the I don't even know what the new ones are made out of, but they always remind me of like little toy boats now that you can't sink in a million years.
You just keep pushing them down. This guy in a tank top again. Great.
Uh-huh. But this one, just my instinct, the fashion in this one looks closer to the 80s than the previous one.
Right. This would have been late 70s because they did this in like 70s.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Look at all of the ladies in hats too. Like they all have these bonnets on. There's two, and you could almost say three with that weird bucket hat thing.
Yeah.
Huh. That's very cool.
And this one, something you wouldn't see is you would never see a character sitting down.
A character sitting down, an entirely empty background.
Right.
Like there is nobody other than the three of them in this picture.
And if I'm looking correctly, this is the Matterhorn right here.
That's what I was guessing too.
Yeah. But no one walking back there at all.
I mean, this almost to me looks, because the back is it looks like it's morning.
Right.
Yeah, look there. You can see a tiny bit of the shadow underneath Goofy's feet from the. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's morning. I almost wonder if this was before park opened, and that person either was connected with the park or worked in the park or a family member or something.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know either. The only reason I'm even remotely thinking it is the fact that the entire area is empty. It's morning. You got two characters to yourself.
Right. having a break.
I love interest. You're right. Well, or just a This is
Casual,
somebody's mom, wife, whatever, girlfriend. The other interesting thing about this picture, look at the ground.
Oh, the red carpet.
Yeah, like that's interesting as well. And I'm also, can you tell what's in the back corner over Goofy's shoulder? Like, wait, yep, there you go.
I'm not sure what that is. It's out of focus. I'm trying to think what would be there. Because it's kind of, because we don't see the House of the Future, but that may be over here a bit more than that.
Wouldn't it? That would be, yeah.
But it could just be out of the shot.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't have any. I got this.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's also interesting in all these pictures how, like, Pluto, I think, has in some ways, as a character in the park, evolved more than Goofy. Like, Goofy looks, maybe his outfit's been updated a little bit, but he looks pretty much what you see. And then, like, Goofy's mouth is closed in this, it looks like. His eyes are different. Oh, maybe Goofy's eyes are different too.
Pluto, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think his ears are longer too.
Probably. I'm trying to think.
Actually, I bet both of their ears are
yeah. Because if you look at the length on Goofy's ear, it's almost hitting his elbow.
That almost would be dangerous now because people just walk up and
just
like,
pull.
Mm-hmm. And I think you can see the monorail, the rail actually in the background on
that's
something in front of the.
Something I noticed at looking at photos and postcards of the monorail, you don't realize how low the monorail would go next to the Matterhorn. That it looks low, but when you're actually there, it's much higher. But maybe it's a forced perspective. I don't know, but it's definitely a change.
Well, don't you also, because if you think about the parade route there, it's going up the hill,
right?
To go from Main Street level, I'm going to call it, to Small World level. And I have a feeling part of that is bringing it back into the Tomorrowland level, which is closer to Main Street level. Mm-hmm. So it has to be closer to the ground as it's going over the hill.
Right.
And that's not the highest part of the hill, but I actually think the front of, like, kind of by where you enter the monorail or Mad Tea Party seems like that's the highest part of the hill.
Right.
That's an interesting thing also. Is that a take a photo here sign also in the back corner?
Oh, that is exactly what that is.
Heh. I just suddenly was like, wait a minute, I know what that is.
I just saw another one of these in another photo and I realized that they would do the same thing that we have now, which is like, oh, this is what your photo should look like if you take a photo here.
Mm-hmm. That's literally what clued me into it. I was like, wait, this is the thing.
Yeah, that's the little Photonik guy.
I mean, we do have to do a Photonik adventure someday where we go to each one of those and take our picture as the photo is intended.
Exactly as intended. Same people, everything.
Yeah. Well, no, be us recreating their shot as close as we can. And like, if we have, like, if there's a third person in the picture, we'll just have Katie like kneel in front of us as the kid.
Right.
And
or just grab a kid. Just grab a random. Like, come here, kid.
Yeah, no problem. You don't mind if we put you on the internet, right?
That, to me, that sounds like a Photoniks Daps quest.
Mm-hmm. That could be a very fun video, or we could even do a live podcast of it, like when we've done the other ones. Like, we're due for another one of those someday soon, I think.
As we brainstorm on the air, get me those photos at some point. Let me see if I can find an old photo that looks like the photo they want you to take now.
Oh, I like that. That'd be fun too.
Yeah. That way it's not just us taking photos that some other Photoniks, 50 years from now we'll talk about.
You never know.
Right.
It could be us talking about ourselves in
50 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like anything's possible. Yeah. Huh. And this is how it always works.
All right.
All right. So was that all of the photos?
That is all. Anyways, zoom back out. That is all of the photos.
So now we have to pick one.
Yep.
Oh man.
It's always the hard part. Scrolling
It really
through.
is.
That's a good one. That's a good one too.
That's a great one. And that one's good too, just because it really does transport you to a different time in some ways more than any of the other ones.
And to your car.
But I'm gonna and to your car, which is going to take you home. Which we didn't talk about this at the beginning, but this looks like it must be later in the day based on the shadow.
Right. But even in 59, the park would close at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
there you go. People they might actually be going home, not getting off. I think I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, this one's
partially good. I love the Pluto walking through. I love the guy super excited in the front right corner out of focus. Like, he's fun. The outfits are fantastic. Like, there's a dress that you can just barely see part of it that reminds me of like a handkerchief.
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And I just love, like, there's something to be said for the old hairstyles in this picture too.
Right.
Like the slicked back men, the fancy whatever with the ladies. Dress shoes in the parks. Usually it's just us that are crazy enough to do that. Now, back then it was everybody. Yeah, there's something so, I don't know if the word is wholesome, but there's something very unique about that era, like the early eras with the colors and the simplicity and how open things were. I love it. All right, your turn.
I think I'll go with, now knowing that there's the Photoniks sign back there, the photo. I've always liked this one anyway, because they just go, you would the only character that you would see sitting down ever would be Mad Hatter during a game, right? Or maybe Alice during the same game, maybe, and Jack Sparrow for comedic purposes only. Other than that, you would never see a character have a seat.
You just don't see, like, you don't even see them. Remember years ago when you'd see like Mary Poppins and Bert and other characters doing Duck Duck Goose.
Oh yeah.
And so they would sit on the ground for that. Alice and other, like even Cinderella, I can remember doing that. Like, there'd be all sorts of different characters playing, but you just don't see that kind of stuff really anymore. And I wish those are the kind of things I actually wish they'd bring back. I have seen them do charades too, like Peter Pan and Alice and Hatter, and they'll sit on the chairs over by the old behind where you get the turkeys, the old motorboat.
Oh yeah.
Dock.
Yeah,
they'll do that down there.
No, I just remembered I saw a character sit down one time. Geppetto sat down with me while I was in between Tomorrowland and Fantasyland in the castle, but by the wishing well. I was sitting down, and Geppetto had his seat for comedic purposes only, and sat there like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah,
what's
and I love those moments. It's when it's telling the story and it's part of the experience. I think it's great, and it's a whole lot of fun to see, and I'm glad they occasionally have those little moments still, and I would love more of them, but we would never see this. Like, this might be the most anomalous picture of all of them today.
Well, lady standing on grass.
Yeah.
Just the ability to even get into it.
There's no fences. I mean, the other crazy part that we didn't talk about either is you could literally trip and fall into the moat very easily. Like a kid running, didn't stop. Like, it'd be great.
I wonder how many moat accidents they had. I mean, the moat wasn't deep, so it wasn't going to be a big deal. But I wonder how many run and falls,
or just a random kid was like, "Oh, this looks like fun." Like, I don't know.
Let me go grab that frog.
Geese are your friends, right?
Right.
How about swans?
Swans are even better.
Ducks. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and we hope you've enjoyed this as well. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Please rate this podcast, share it with your friends. And what else do we do, Clocky?
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Yes.
If you want
all
us
that.
to look at something specific, I'm always looking for ideas. Send ideas along. We will try to look at something. If there's something you want, if there's a guest you would like on, let us know. I know we've got one that will be potentially lining up for June, and some more fun happening. Obviously, March is coming up soon, so we'll have some fun times in March, and then plenty of photos to still look at.
And you can find some more photos over on the Instagram where the Photoniks podcast can be found as well. And we have links for that in the description, so you won't want to miss it. But thanks for photonicking with us. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We look forward to doing it again with you really soon. And guess we'll see you in the parks.
Yeah. And please, no flash photography on dark rides.
Fair.
Photoniks. Photoniks. Photoniks.